Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you guys are well. So guys, I'll just tell you a story before I get into this. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe and share the video, guys, as always. Really appreciate your support. Let me just on this fan. Otherwise, you're going to struggle to hear me. I just wanted it off the fan because otherwise you guys are going to struggle to hear me. But I just had my stand out in the car, and it looks like it's melted. Not melted, but it looks like it's become soft, and now it's not as heavy. It's hot, it's not balancing as well. It just shows how hot it was in the car. I left my stand in the car, and it looks like it's got a thing. I don't know if it'll go back to normal, or I might have to buy a new stand now because I left it out in the car, and it's car's so hot. It looks like it's gone a bit soft. I don't know whether it'll get harder when it gets back into normal temperature at home, but I don't know. I might have to buy another stand because it looks a bit floppy at the minute, you know. It's still doing the job, but it was actually red hot when I picked it up. So yeah, I shouldn't have probably left it. Normally I bring my stand with me in the morning, but I forgot it in the car, and you know, it looks like it's not in a good shape right now. But yeah, anyway, enough of that crap. Gilberto Ramirez on Bivol title shot. It's time. Look, it's time for revenge for my Mexican people. You know what? Before I get into this article, you know what? I like the way Gilberto Ramirez is picturing this. Canelo Alvarez is obviously a Mexican star, and Gilberto Ramirez is trying to paint this that I want to get revenge for my Mexican people, because Gilberto Ramirez is thinking, if I beat this guy, all of a sudden, all of the Mexican people will say, oh, he beat Canelo. Bivol beat Canelo, and you've beaten him. All of a sudden, Gilberto Ramirez becomes the next superstar in Mexican boxing. So I can see the way Gilberto Ramirez is trying to play this game, because it could work for him. It could work for him, especially if he's able to win. If he loses, then obviously not. But if he wins, if he somehow manages to beat Dmitry Bivol, all of a sudden, he could take over Canelo Alvarez, and all the Mexican people could be on his side, because they'll look at it and think, wow, this guy beat Canelo, and Gilberto just beat him. So I like this game that, you know, Ramirez, some of you might not like it because some of you say, oh, Canelo can fight his own battles. No. Gilberto Ramirez is playing a great game here. He's playing great. I feel that a lot of the Mexican people, if he can pull off this win, a lot of the Mexican people would jump onto Gilberto Ramirez's bandwagon and start calling him the next superstar of Mexican boxing. So I really like what he's trying to do. He's trying to play that game where he knows that he's almost trying to tell the Mexican people, I'm going to get revenge for Canelo. You know, Canelo's a legend. I'm going to get revenge for him. But at the same time, he's almost kind of saying, I'm going to get him back, Bivol back, for what he did to Canelo. And Canelo is so highly regarded in Mexico that if Gilberto Ramirez wins, all of a sudden Gilberto Ramirez is a massive superstar in Mexico. You know, and a lot of the Mexican fans are going to go crazy about him. So this is a great move. I like this. I like what he's doing, because people, if he does beat Bivol, he becomes the next star. Maybe he might even transcend Canelo. You know, who knows? He might even become bigger than Canelo, because, and not just that, imagine the fight between Gilberto and Canelo, how big it would be. You could probably sell out a 150,000-seat stadium in Mexico. That's how big that fight becomes. But let's go through it. The ruling handed down was more crucial than whatever Gilberto Ramirez needs to accomplish. A shot at the WBA title remains in play for the Mexican southpaw. So it says here, I can't wait now. It's my time, Ramirez told Boxing Scene. Shortly after learning the WBA, it's time for revenge for my Mexican people. You see, he's trying to say it's time for revenge for my Mexican people. So who's this? I think this might be to Golden Boy. When Gilberto first came to Golden Boy Promotions, we sat down with him to discuss his future, Roberto Diaz says. From the moment we first started working with him, he sat down and said, I want Bivol. I tried to tell him, we don't have to do that. We can go other routes. Gilberto told me, Roberto, trust me, I can beat him. This was obviously way before Bivol's victory over Canelo. So it looks like Gilberto's wanted Bivol before even the Canelo fight. After Gilberto said, now I want Bivol even more, he has a whole country behind him. All the fans in Mexico are calling Gilberto to fight Bivol. This is an opportunity to bring back that title, that win, not just for Gilberto, for all of Mexico. And even Roberto Diaz is doing a good job. People want to see this fight because he beat one of the best Mexicans, Ramirez. Everyone wants to see this fight. So he's trying to play a game where he's trying to say, I want to fight Bivol because he beat one of our great fighters. I want to beat Bivol because he beat one of our best. In the meantime, if he does beat Bivol, this guy becomes a superstar because now all of the Mexican people will jump on his bandwagon. Hence why this fight is so big for Zordo Ramirez, that Zordo Ramirez could potentially catapult himself into superstardom. Because what you got to realize is Mexico is a huge boxing country, right? They're always looking for stars, right? And a Mexican star, you look at Julio Cesar Chavez, you look at Canelo. Now they're looking for somebody after Canelo. Whenever there's a good fighter come out of Mexico, if they're good and they dedicate themselves and they're very good fighters, there's a great chance that they're going to go on to have some extraordinary career and be and the Mexican, and also become huge pay-per-view draws, because the Mexican people get behind their fighters. You know, Canelo's a great example. Julio Cesar Chavez is a great example. You know, and there was many others. You know, even Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. had great support. Like, there was a lot of people. I remember when Julio Cesar Chavez fought Canelo, there was a lot of people supporting Julio Cesar Chavez just because of his father, because how much Julio Cesar Chavez is probably the most admired Mexican fighter of all time. You know, the people in Mexico love him. You know, and someone actually said to me, a Mexican actually said to me, it doesn't matter what Canelo does, he will never be loved more than Julio Cesar Chavez. That's how much Julio Cesar Chavez is loved. And Zordo Ramirez, if he, and by the way, some people say that Canelo's not adored in Mexico like that, which I find kind of startling to say, you know, if that is true. I've never been to Mexico. I've never spoken to Mexican people. I speak to you guys, and most of you guys on my channel are very high on Canelo. You know, you get upset when I say something bad about Canelo. So, and yet, you know, I'm a fan of Canelo, but yet you get upset. So from just my subscriber base, but a lot of you are not from Mexico. I mean, some of you are from United States, because I don't even have a huge viewership from Mexico. A lot of the people that watch my channel are from United States. So I don't know if you guys are actually from, I don't know where you guys are from. I think some of you have told me, and most of you, when you speak to me, you are from United States. You know, you're not from Mexico. So what that means is that, I remember, who was it? Campos? I think it was Campos Vasquez. One of my Campos actually said to me, he's one of my subscribers and a guy that, you know, used to come on the live streams as well. He actually said to me that Canelo's not actually that loved in Mexico. He's more, there's like people in the United States, Mexican Americans are different. They hold him in high regard, but in Mexico, he's not as loved as some of the other greats. And I don't know that, but I think I've spoke to, who have I spoke to? Miguel. I don't know if Miguel is from America, he's from Mexico. I don't know where he lives. But if you are watching this video, Miguel, maybe you can tell me where you're from. But I know Miguel holds Canelo in very high regard. But again, I've been told that people in Mexico don't hold Canelo as in high regard as some of the American Mexicans, which I find absurd. Why wouldn't you? He's one of the all-time greats and got a great legacy. But apparently, maybe because it's difficult for Canelo, because of Julio Cesar Chavez, who's adored and loved in Mexico, it's very difficult for Canelo to surpass that. So I can understand why. But Zordo Ramirez, let's talk about the future. This guy has a potential if he beats... Now, I don't think he's going to beat Bivol. That's the thing. I don't think he's going to beat Bivol. I don't think he's good enough. But again, he is Mexican. Even David Benavidez, who some people say isn't full Mexican, but he's Mexican. He's got some Mexican. I think he's Mexican American. He's also from Honduras, I think some people say. But regardless, he also has an opportunity. These guys, Ramirez, David Benavidez, these guys have an opportunity to become huge superstars in the sport of boxing, because like I said, the Mexican fans get behind their fighters, especially when they see that this guy is a good fighter. They really get behind you. They really, really get behind you. So these guys have an opportunity if they dedicate themselves, if they actually go in there and prove themselves. I think they can become massive. But yeah, Zordo Ramirez could potentially become a superstar overnight by beating Bivol, because like I said, he just beat a legend. Bivol just beat beat a Mexican legend effectively. And Ramirez has the opportunity to avenge that loss, and that's how he's going to be sold. That's how he's going to sell it to people. That, look, this guy beat a Mexican legend, and came and took revenge for him. That's how they're trying to sell it. That's how Golden Boy are trying to sell it. That's how Zordo's trying to sell it. And I think it's a smart move from their part, you know, because if he is victorious in this fight, imagine how big the fight between him and Canelo becomes. Wow. We're talking about that could sell out 200,000 in Mexico. That's how big that fight becomes. So I do like this. I do like the way they're selling this and coming across here. But most importantly, you can sell anything you want. You can come across any way you want. But at the end of the day, it's what you do inside that ring that's going to matter. Because at the end of the day, you can talk and say what you want. But if you can't back it up in the ring, it's no good, because then people aren't going to get behind you. So if Ramirez can back up his talk, back up his bow, go in there and defeat Dmitry Bivol, we are looking at probably the next Mexican superstar in boxing. Regardless of what Canelo does and whatever, this guy will then have his own name in Mexican history, and he will be the next Mexican star. And who knows, a star might be born. He might take over Canelo's pay-per-view, you know, reign. We don't know, because like I said, the Mexican people really get behind their fighters, man. So this is a great opportunity for him. If he wins, he changes his life. That's the incentive. He changes his life, becomes a massive superstar, and probably becomes adored in Mexico. So yeah, let's hope. For his sake, he probably hopes he wins. I think it's going to be very tough, though. I think Bivol is too good for him. But, you know, he's a big guy, he's a strong guy, can fight. Who knows? It's boxing. Anything can happen. Who thought Bivol, not many people thought Bivol would beat Canelo. Many people felt that Bivol will get beat. And look what happened. So, yeah, Ramirez has got a shot. Ramirez can fight. But let's see. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.